Well, happened again. We have an audio issue in this episode, which thank you, shout outs to our listener Rob for telling me about them. But Noah's audio goes quiet about 26 minutes in, or 27 minutes in now with this added. I'll try to explain what he says, what's going on, but it's it is what it is. All right. Sorry about that. We'll try to get that fixed for next time. On with the show. Welcome to Who Put This On Season 8 finale, aka 2020 best shows we watched in 2024. We don't really have quips this week because we don't have a show to quip from unless we listen to our podcast, which, I have a quip. Well, I'm Chris.
Next year we should come up with like the best quips and bring those to the finale. But this is Brian.
I am not equipped. This is Noah Singer.
Would this be better as a quippy? This is Max.
I guess we could have made something about like minutia because that's our favorite word. At least I can pull that out. Anyway, let's take care of some business first. Last week we watched Four in a Bed on Tubi, right? No, did we watch something else?
Four in a Bed was on Tubi.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
was that last week?
It wasn't last week. It was the most recent episode. It's been
too long.
December, the New Year's.
Too long. We had a poll on X, and you guys, we have a tie between top third and middle third show.
Oh.
I don't know what we do with that, but
the people speak.
They have spoken.
They hath spoken. All right. So now we'll do our top 5 and bottom 5 of the season, and we'll start out with the top 5, and then we'll get into the bottom 5. And somewhat complicated, but we are going to do the thing we do every season where we're going to talk about the show at its highest level. So if Noah has a show at 1 and I have it at 5, we're just going to talk about it at 1. So you'll see people won't have, like right now, Brian, you don't have your 5th best option because your 5th best is somebody else's better option. So right now, Max, what is your 5th best show?
I want to preface this by saying I'm not particularly attached to the show, but it was enough to be my 5th best of the year. It was The Boyfriends on Netflix, I believe.
Are we doing best or worst? Am I like going crazy?
5th best.
Best. We're doing best.
Man,
I'm correct, right?
You're correct. I am losing it. I was like, wait, did I just
lose it away?
Proceed, good sir.
This was your username, Hugh Grants.
This was the show
that have the name option.
This was the show that was like Terrace House, but for gay people, correct?
Yes. As we know, I like dating shows. I like Japanese dating shows. This is the closest thing I've encountered to Terrace House. And at the beginning of episode 2, a guy makes a boiled chicken smoothie. And that's why it is in my 5th best. Now,
the chicken smoothie is the reason why?
Yeah. Moving on. What are some other 5th bests we got?
Noah, what is your 5th best show?
So I don't know when we want to dump. Like, when do we want to talk about the season as a whole? Like the whole season. You want to do it now?
You can tangent that right here if you want.
Let me just start off. I actually think we had a really high quality season. I don't know about y'all, but like going through the shows again, I was like, there weren't any of them like, wow, that was like the hottest trash fire.
Like, I gotta agree. We didn't, I had some that were bottom of the bottom, but nothing I was like virulently hatred.
Yeah, it was So I found myself having to come up with my own type of way of thinking about this. Um, so where I generally lean to, where I enjoy the most, is like the slice of life, right? Getting to learn about things. And so number 5, best show, OMG Fashion. Um, why OMG Fashion? Like it was such a deep dive into like couture fashion, and like how they actually get it done and the tight timelines, crazy personalities. And so yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I give it my bottom of the top.
So I have a fifth best option, fifth best show. And to preface this, you will hear the show. Well, we'll talk about the show again, I think, is what I'm going to say. And my fifth best show is Deal or No Deal Island.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
I thought so. My reasoning behind this is the Rob, the guy from Survivor, and like the like just like them playing the game before the Deal or No Deal part is like really compelling and really fun. And I thought it was like some of the best reality TV we've seen all season.
Whoa.
But
Uh,
we'll
okay.
talk about the rest of the show later.
But
that,
what about the fact that Boston Rob is gone after episode 1?
he's not going after episode 1.
Oh, I thought he was kicked out immediately. Never mind.
No. Spoilers. He makes it past episode 1. But that's my fifth best show.
Yeah.
Brian, what is your fourth best show?
My fourth best show brings dancing and roller skating with Roller Jam. Really enjoyed that. Checked out several other episodes. It was a really good new version of like talent shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was. I feel like these are one of them where the production was a little corny, which was like, ooh, it feels like a bottom. But then it was such a good execution, and the talent so high. Where it's like, oh, that could be a top. Like I feel like this one was very polarizing.
This one narrowly missed my bottom.
Ooh.
So I have my fourth best show, which is I feel like a Chris centric show, which is Love Off the Grid, which is crazy people doing crazy things, and I love it. I love watching people do crazy things, and they're like perfectly normal people, and I love watching them do crazy things.
They're not perfectly normal people.
No. Nope.
Chris, how many episodes of this did you end up watching?
I feel like I watched a lot of the show.
Whoa.
You told me some tidbits about later in the season that were fascinating.
Yeah, I think that this is. I'm now looking at my list. I definitely should have swapped 3 and 4, but I didn't. But whatever. I like this show. It wasn't as compelling as some of my other options, but so here we go. Everyone has a third best option. So Noah, what do you got for me?
Ooh.
What's your third best?
Number 3. I wouldn't be surprised I'm tied with someone here. I'll call that out. The Influencer. No one.
Sorry,
else?
that's your third best?
That's on your best list?
Oh,
That's on the best.
Okay.
I'm
To be clear,
shocked.
this is the Korean show where they have 100 influencers in a room and they like mingle or something. I forget what they actually do in the show, but
they're trying to get upvotes.
Yeah. The reason why I chose this one, there was the twists in like how do you actually play the game. And I like that the naked ambition. Like obviously all reality show has relatively naked ambition, but this was like hardcore gangbang naked ambition. And so I kind of just appreciate just the full visibility of what's going on and then the Netflix level of execution.
Brian, what is your third best show?
My third best show is Coming from America. That was a really, really fun twist on also those like dating or like moving shows. And also, they found some fun people on there. I like that.
I think you chose a better number 3 than I did.
Are you just saying that because like everybody else on the screen said, "Oh, that was a bad choice," or you?
No, just purely reflecting myself. Like,
I mean, I love the fact that some shows can be on both lists. That's all.
it,
Oh, there's gonna be some like that.
Max, what is your third best?
I'm kind of surprised this didn't show up in anybody else's bests, but I liked America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys, something or another, cheerleaders.
the new one or the old one?
That's the new one.
The new one.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I don't have that many other memories of it, but I remember not hating it. And according to the spreadsheet we have of scores, I liked it.
Yeah.
I think we all liked it. I agree with you. I think I watched the whole season, so probably should have been on the list maybe, but
I'm pretty sure it was a pretty high rating.
Yeah. Anyway, my third best show is Four in a Bed. We finally watched it. I had a good time watching a season. I don't need to watch anymore. It's probably too high on this list, but I had a good time. You know, that's why it's on my list.
A lot of second guessing going on here about list ordering.
For
I'm
sure.
telling
All
you,
right, just
it's
on
a
me.
tight season.
Just on
Tight
me.
season.
Just me.
Yeah.
Calm down. So
I got to say though too, the influencer in our sheet is a solid top show. I don't know if y'all
Is
know
that true?
I don't know. Anyway, for second best, Max and I have the same second best.
Hell yeah.
Max, what is it?
Mine, I assume it's the same as yours, is Scare Tactics.
Yes, that is mine as well.
I thought this was nice and breezy. We've seen a lot of shitty Scare Tactics type shows, but
Prank
yeah,
shows.
this is,
It was a prank. It was like a prank show,
yeah.
and it was done really well.
There are a lot of people did it wrong, and they did it right.
Yeah, I think that it's easy to say. What was that? We watched that show with the guy from Stranger Things, and that was terrible.
Matarazzo.
Got it. Galen. Gaten?
Galen Matarazzo.
Gaten.
Right.
It is Gaten.
Oh yeah.
No,
Quick follow up, Noah. I had influencer as bottom of the bottom, so
Oh, so I'm reading the ratings wrong.
so
There really
are
needs to
all
be
of
a key here. We need a key.
there is a key at the bottom of the spreadsheet. It
Bottom.
says
I
1
do
equal
agree a
bottom,
big
3 equal top.
Yeah, I do see that now.
Is that why all your your shows are terrible?
Could be.
Your list reversed.
It could be, but it's not exactly. Like, you'll see what comes next, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
tell us what's next though. What's your second best show of the season?
Conan O'Brien Must Go. Right, which kind of adheres to our initial ratings. I mean, this is kind of a layup. Like, I think if you base it on like what you'd expect out of Conan O'Brien, it's probably like a middle show because it's like Conan fucking O'Brien. But it's great seeing him go around and do his shtick around the world. It's excellent.
Yeah, I put that as my fifth best show.
Ooh, there we go.
this was a narrow miss for top.
Ooh.
All right, Brian, what do you got for your second best show?
My second best show is Vanderpump Villa. I watched the entire series with Katie. It ended up being pretty fun and not like completely like trash. It was almost like on land below deck. So yeah, enjoyed it. I clearly enjoyed it enough to watch the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, it looked enjoyable, but I didn't have much desire to watch more of it. So I'm glad to hear that it's still good. All right, everyone has a unique top number one.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Cool.
So Max, what is your number one show of season 8?
Okay, can I preface this with a quick story?
No. I mean, you do you.
Too
Explain
bad.
yourself.
December 29th, I go and hang out with my cousin. She's 50. She has a new boyfriend. His name is John. We go out to an Italian restaurant. This guy has said like 3 words the entire night. So I'm like, so John, what's your life story? He says, well, I grew up in like the Bronx, but then we moved to Westchester, and my parents were really into exotic animals. This man, who may eventually join my family, would have been on Chimp Crazy, my number one show. Chimp Crazy, folks. I found it fascinating. I watched all of it.
So wait, was he related to that white woman?
No, he has no blood relation. Just he's one of these people.
He's in the circus. Okay, yeah.
I kind of disqualified Jim Crazy because it wasn't really a reality show, or it probably would have been number one.
Chris, if it
We
was
watched-
a reality show, why'd you allow it on the show?
Because
What next, Roseanne?
Yeah, I know, right? I had this as my number 4 top. Yeah, Chimp Crazy was very good.
Great choice, Noah.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, what is your number one show for season 8?
My number one show is one that I've flipped on. I originally rated it as like a middle show, and I think we chose a really poor episode of it. But I've checked out plenty of episodes later, and I can definitely see that there's some like hit or misses, but largely like if you start getting into the comedy, it's a fun show. Game changer.
Yes. This was my number
Ooh.
3, I think. I loved this. No, it was my number 4 still. Later episodes are way better than the rating I gave it earlier.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Dropout. Like there is some actually fun comedy stuff on there. Like, I mean,
Oh, really?
there's like Make Some Noise as well. Like they have like a few different shows, and I've checked them out as well. It's worth the subscription.
We were dunking on Dropout back in the day, but I've seen like articles that like the best streaming platform of 2024 was strangely Dropout.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Just, this is one person's opinion, but I saw that headline. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's a headline to get you to think about it or click on it.
I saw somebody tweet on Twitter. And let me write a news story about this. People are talking about.
People are talking about a game. Brian, I'd really love to like the show, but I agree with you. Probably watched some bad episode. I feel like I watched 2 episodes and did not like either of them. So I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
It's definitely good. Like it feels like you're watching improv, like live to a certain degree, which is great. Like,
yeah,
pretty solid.
You learn to love and hate specific comedians, and that can like really make it. So then I also ended up choosing specific ones as well. I still check out some of the other.
Man, what's his name? Colin.
Farrell, Firth.
No, the
O'Brien.
old Irish guy.
Macri?
The
Macri from
comedian.
like Whose Line?
No,
Colin Macri?
Colin
man,
Macri?
Colin Macri?
There's a guy he used to host 11:30 p.m. show after the Daily Show, where he'd have 4 comedians, primarily from the
Oh,
Bill Stein.
What is his name?
Bill Stein. You will win.
The Late Show, maybe?
I forgot it. No, it was called something else, like the Colbert
Craig
Report.
Ferguson. Craig Ferguson.
No, Colin Quinn. So Colin Quinn used to host this show after the Daily Show. It was called Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn, and he had 4 comedians, primarily from the Comedy Cellar, and like if you were doing a Comedy Cellar, like you're legit. And yeah, like you get these personalities, which is great. Like you're getting exposure to New York class comedians like all around the country. It's amazing.
All right, Noah, what is your number one show of season 8?
Humans versus hamsters.
Wow.
I was going through the list, and this is by far the most creative show. Like the amount of imagination and sticking to the bit. I feel like it's unparalleled. Like credit where credit is due. You get HBO to produce this and like get it going.
It's certainly unique, and it kind of moves.
I mean,
I can't
that's a
fault
show.
you.
That's a show you can pick. My number one show, season 8, is I don't know if anyone can guess what it is at this point because I feel like it's pretty obvious. But it is
Utopia.
Yeah.
couple to thruple.
Yeah.
Cup to throw. Ooh.
Couple to thruple. It's one of those great people watching shows. Watch crazy people try to join a thruple. It's so good. It's best show this season, easily.
I was gone that week. I'm sure if I watched it, I would have loved it.
Easily. I've watched the whole season.
Really? I didn't know you were that in love with this. Like,
it's so good. It's just the black woman and the white guy, and they're like trying to pull in people, and then they're trying to have a baby, and it's like just their storyline alone makes it the number one show this season for sure.
There's a little trend here. You have love off the grid. The white guy and the black woman are living off the grid trying to find love. There's like a through line here.
There is definitely. It's crazy people trying to live off the grid. And I might be confusing the two shows a little bit maybe in my head, but I'm 100% sure the storyline in Couple to Thruples is good. Just so good.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Now we have a really hard task, guys, because every season we come up with the show of the season, the best show of the season, and then compare it to our like collective best show, which I have to pull up, I guess, in the Hall of Fame. Currently, Taskmaster is the best show we've watched, and Celebrity Apprentice is the bottom right now. But we have to come up with the top show for season 8, and none of us really had any repeats other than Game Changers.
Well, we had
Scare Tactics.
Scare Tactics, Chimp Crazy, Conan O'Brien. We're all multiples, right?
I mean, if we go by point scores, I feel like Scare Tactics would win because two of us had it at number 2.
It's a pretty weak winner, though. It wasn't bad, but I just don't. I feel stronger about Game Changer. I feel.
I have faith in Game Changer could be the best, but from the episodes I've seen, it was definitely not the best.
Fair.
But I wouldn't like veto it. But I'm not like, I would put Chimp Crazy higher than that, but I also don't know how much that's really a reality show. Can it win our reality show podcast when it's not really, it's more of a documentary?
Right. Yeah.
I guess Scare Tactics is the most medium acceptable.
It's the worst winner, I think, of any season.
Yeah.
I mean, Indian Matchmaking won a season, and that's like... It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So,
it was fun.
I don't know. I feel like Scare Tactics is too weak.
We could just say this season we don't have anything we really.
I'm putting Scare Tactics down. I win. Second. Okay. And Taskmaster is clearly better than Scare Tactics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get into our least favorite shows of the season.
All right. So, worst shows of season 8. Brian and I tied or have the same 5th worst show, which is also my 5th best show. Deal or No Deal Island.
That's cheating? Question mark.
Yeah.
Let me explain myself. As I said, the Boston Rob playing the game part, so good. Some of the best reality show ever. And then some of the worst reality show is watching anyone play Deal or No Deal. It is hot garbage. and I can't believe that show is still on the air. It's all luck. It's just so silly, and like the way they like cheer each other on just makes it even worse. And that's why it's on the worst list as well.
That's
Brian,
totally
anything
fair.
to say
I,
about?
I mean, I like the show because it was just like so like just so background. But yeah, like I ultimately just ended up not really paying attention to it, and I was like, no, this I can't like think that this is good anymore. And then you're right, Deal or No Deal, like in this format, it's just it's slightly better. It's not just like a whole episode of it, but it's still not good. I don't like that game.
I mean, it also like made Deal or No Deal seem like so important because like if you win or lost, you determine if you got kicked off the island or not, and it's like
Yeah,
so random that like it even I think made it even worse.
I did like some of the stupid animations for like the banker having this big ass boat and stuff.
The CG boat.
Yeah,
Uh, I do like that they treat the banker as some mysterious figure. Do they do the same in normal Deal or No Deal?
I don't think so. Think
wait, Max, what was that?
do they have? Is the banker like a persona in Real Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, I mean, it's a persona in there. Like it's just some like mystery person calling up and being like, "Okay, here's the odds, and you got to deal with it."
All right, Noah. What is your fifth worst show of season 8?
It's worst. We got Grand Cayman, Secrets in Paradise. Reason why this show is not that good, it's a bunch of like, you know, J list celebrities. Maybe that's the right alphabet to put them in, and really just trying to break out of their little bubble or build on top of Army Hammer, who I guess he's like a G list celebrity to some degree, and trying to put Greg Cayman on the map of reality TV.
Why are you pronouncing it that way?
Because that's how they pronounce it in the show. It was so
Oh,
silly.
fair.
It was not Cayman, which I would say the Grand Cayman, but they're a Cayman. Yeah, that's why.
I don't even remember this show.
Yeah. They're in the Caribbean, and it's about famous guy's ex-wife. And I went on a tirade about how he would like text people that he wanted to cut them open and suck their blood
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I remember
Allegedly. Don't sue me.
now. All right. So once again, I have matched with somebody else. Max and I have the same
Whoa.
fourth worst show. Which Max, what is it?
Um, Barbecue High.
Garbage. Just
Now,
garbage.
believe it or not, this show is not about cooking with marijuana. It is actually about high schoolers.
That
Um,
is that is something you should think about. Is it's about getting high.
it's
Uh,
a documentary, and at least the episode we watched, nothing happens. It's just kids talking about, well, when I was a kid, I liked to eat barbecue, and now I'm entering the Texas barbecue competition. I watched this show on like 2x. I hated it.
yeah, it's garbage. It's watching high schoolers do something and they don't explain what they're doing, and they're just kind of doing basic barbecuing, and it's terrible. It's like who decided this was a good idea? Um, you're wrong.
I would say, in their defense, it's intermediate barbecuing at least.
That's fair. That's fair. It's intermediate, but at the end of the day, I don't need to watch high schoolers learn how to be good barbecuers. I want to watch good barbecuers be good barbecuing, right? And even
What
then, I don't need like we've watched barbecue shows and they all kind of are the same. Like watching meat on a smoker, not that exciting.
Yeah, it's like watching meat cook.
or paint dry. Uh, Noah, what is your fourth worst show of season 8?
Yeah. Fourth worst show is Four in a Bed. I know this is a fan favorite. I know this is like a killer show across the pond, but it just didn't really do it to me. I just felt it was like a bit dry. Yeah, just not.
Let's see. For third worst show, Brian, what do you got for me?
My third worst show is Love Undercover. Simply because it's that same bullshit of tricking people and making them like feel like, oh yeah, this is true love, and then surprise, no.
For our viewers at home, quick reminder of Love Undercover. I kind of remember.
Yeah, so it was like a lot of like football / soccer players going undercover to like find love, and these women are all like, they don't know who they are. Fine, because I think it was Americans, and these are like English footballers.
Thanks for the recap because I forgot, or I would have done
Yeah,
it.
good call.
Third worst show. You're just
Right?
Max. What is your number 3?
This is a ongoing theme. Outrageous Pumpkins. All these holiday shows are always garbage. I don't care that you can carve a pumpkin. I don't see how you can watch more than one episode in your life. The third worst show.
All right.
Don't get me wrong. I love Halloween. Just Outrageous Pumpkins. They're not even that. They're outrageous. I don't care. I got better things to do.
All right. I can't believe no one else has this show. Well, at least at the same level I do or higher. But Harry Potter, Wizards of whatever is my second worst show. And
Yep.
this show is so bad. It's like, let me show you a weird clip, non sequitur clip of Harry Potter. Don't you love it? Now watch me not bake this and look at the result and not taste it. And like, just so stupid and waste of time. And it was like so long that I hated it. This is definitely one where like the length makes it worse than not.
Agreed. This is my fifth worst.
I missed this show, thankfully.
It's an extremely weird application of the IP.
Yeah, 100%. So Max and Brian have the same second worst show. What show is that, Brian?
You are what? Well, Max, we should say it together. You are
what
what you eat.
Wow, that was so in sync. Good job, Brian. You did it. What's the subtitle?
I can't even remember. I have it cut off, but it was some like food experiment.
Yeah. They take twins and they feed them different stuff and they see what happens. Wow. That's riveting. This could have been an article I read in 5 minutes. Why is
5
there
minutes?
7?
30 seconds.
Yeah, no, I want to get into the nitty gritty, Chris. But
You just skip the article, go right to the comments. Noah, do you want to have a second worst or no?
Third worst is Love Off the Grid. This just like made me a little gut wrenching of like, one, the format was fine, but like the people making decisions in the show, it's like they seem a little bit real, and they're just making such poor decisions, which is really not nice to watch. And then last, the worst of the worst, Owning Manhattan. This is with Ryan Serhat, whatever.
Serhant.
Serhant, thank you. He just seems like A-class douchebag. it's impressive what he's built. I will give credit where it is due, but he does not just seem like a terribly likable person, and for those reasons, throw him under the bus. Worst of the worst. And then number two, I keep trying to find. I know I changed this, but I don't. I need to. Oh, We Are Family, of course. So
Great choice.
We Are Family for second worst. This is a poor excuse of tying in celebrities because it's like, Jake Gyllenhaal's second cousin or Mark Ruffalo's dentist. Like, they're not related to these people in any way, yet they're trying to draw this line and say, guess who I am? Guess who I am? It's really terrible.
That is my number one as well. I just can't stand this whole like guessing who who you're related to. That's the fucking silliest idea I've ever fucking heard of. No one cares. Get this shit off my TV.
Yeah, okay. Week one, I looked it up. We have a cousin of Michelle Williams, a cousin of Joel McHale, and and Nikki Glazer is their daughter. That's topical.
Brian, what is your worst show of season 8?
My worst show, Seven Little Johnsons. That just gave that shoot, what is that family? I forgot them. Oh no, don't remind me. I've forgotten them successfully, but it gave off those vibes, and I don't like that.
The show about little people.
Yeah, I mean that part was fine, but it's like the whole family dynamic was just like this annoying family. Like I did not like them.
Yeah, that's fine. Max,
I missed this one.
Max, I think I might know what your worst show is, but why don't you tell the audience?
Yeah, you may remember that I had a pretty emotive response to Noah saying one of his favorite shows was The Influencer. This show was like 90 minutes long and not interesting at all, and none of the people on it were interesting, and I could not wait for it to be over. Did anybody else put it in their bottom?
Yes, The Influencer is my third worst show.
My fourth.
Great choices, guys, except Noah.
I like literally was just like, let me Google the shows that we're all watched, that we've all seen, that we watched, because I don't know, this season I particularly don't remember that well, and I was like, oh yeah, this show is terrible, and Noah said stop show. I'm like, am I remembering the right show? Because I remember like it's literally people talking to other people about like, trying to get votes for an hour. Yeah, there was a small plot line where like two people decided to like you had to rate them based on how much they liked them or how much they didn't like them or something. And two people were like, "Well, let me get the don't like votes," and then they won because what? No one cares. It was stupid. Well, it matters more that you're not liked than it is you're liked. Let's be clear. We all lived through November 2024. Anyway, so we have to pick a worst show for this season. And I think the two contenders are We Are Family and The Influencer. If we're going purely on points, I would probably say We Are Family because I got two number ones.
I'm comfortable with that. I did not like the show. I do think I gave it a bottom of the middle, but it wasn't good.
So there you have it. Those are our top 5 and bottom 5. And we would assume that Celebrity Apprentice is still worse than We Are Family, correct? I mean, does anyone except for me have any way to say that? Because was anyone else on the Celebrity Apprentice episode of the podcast?
I was.
Don't remember.
Well, I have a complicated relationship with that episode, if I remember correctly.
There's just like this speech from our now Lord and Savior, Mr. Donald Trump, about climate change that like sits with me today. How terrible it was, and how non sequitur it had anything to do with anything that was going on in that episode. I think this is pre windmill talk. This is like we don't believe scientists time of climate denial. Um, not against you know fossil fuels and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. We're not talking regular Apprentice. We're specifically talking about the episode or the season of Celebrity Apprentice that we watched, and I can't put We Are Family below that. It's just, but like our Lord and Savior is here, and he might listen to this. So yeah, I don't know how to reconcile this. Maybe we need to do a re-watch of the Celebrity Apprentice this season at some point.
Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
No, I'm
All
out.
I
right.
mean,
So
I
Celebrity Apprentice is still the worst then for the reactions we're getting here.
Yeah.
I think we hit like 10 years since that episode. Maybe it's time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The other thing we like to do, I think, in these episodes is go over the statistics of what people said. So I had more top thirds than bottom thirds this season. I had 12 top thirds versus 10 bottom thirds and 20 middle thirds, which is pretty
Hmm.
good. Max, you had 12 bottom thirds, 13 middles, and 6 tops. That's pretty good ratings. That's pretty good season overall, I
It's
think,
more in line than some other seasons.
for sure. Noah had 11 top thirds, 8 bottom thirds, 19 middle thirds, which I think is a record. I think last season you had like 2 top thirds. Yeah. Brian, you had 10 bottom thirds, 14 middles, and 11 tops.
Hey, that's pretty
So
even.
yeah, it is. You are the most even in terms of buckets. And then we had on the polls, we had 4 bottom thirds, 10 middle thirds, and 22 top thirds. So our audience loves our shows more than we do.
Are we too harsh?
Wait, one at a time. Who wants to talk
No,
there,
go
Brian?
no, go Noah. I just have a snarky comment. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Noah, if you can get Facebook to bring polls back, we'll go to Facebook. Okay. Without a poll, what am I supposed to do? Twitter's the only place with polls other than Reddit. We could go to Reddit, but I feel
No,
like it's hard.
I don't want to interact with fucking Wendy's.
Yes, you do. What are you talking about? That's like one of the better accounts.
Silence brands. No, I don't. I said Wendy's as a joke. Are they actually big Threads posters?
They
I
used
mean,
to be on Twitter.
Okay. Okay, maybe it's actually good.
All I know is the Pop Tarts won the TikTok battle of the week.
Oh yeah.
They had a pretty yeah. That's what they did. That's all they did. They had like a bowl game and they really took it to the next level. That's all that matters. Uh, that's it for us this week. But next week, guys, we're going to be watching Extreme Makeover Home Edition, which is back, everyone. So we're going to watch the new season.
Finally,
Finally, it's back. Uh, if you haven't watched the episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I would encourage you to watch that episode as well. We might watch an old episode too. We don't know. We'll figure it out. Tell us your favorite episode of Extreme Homemaker on X at Who Put This On. You can tell us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. Email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next time.